breaking down Liberty sports. This is the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. This is the High School Fan Zone on a Monday night. I'm Randy Rosetta. I do need to report this real quick before we jump into the Patriot Fan Zone because I was monitoring it. Lubbock High softball team has beaten Caprock 8-1. That means the Lady Westerners are headed to the playoffs for the first time since 2018. So congratulations to Daniela Garcia and Lubbock High. It's a cool accomplishment. The playoffs in Lubbock High don't always go together that often, so that's pretty cool for them to win that play-in game. They join Monterey and Lubbock Cooper from Lubbock in that district headed to the playoffs. Let's switch gears. We're going to talk a little bit of Liberty Golf. I want to call up my information here. I've got way too much stuff to scroll through. There's a picture of young Mr. Blacklock right there. I know that's got the results on it. We're going to talk Liberty Golf because it's almost May. Well, it's April 20th. That's a very important day to a lot of people in the world, not to me. It's this time of year is when Liberty Golf seems to they steal some of the spotlight. Cord Wilburn's the man on my far left. I want to have him introduce who he brought with him, and then we'll jump in and talk about why Liberty golfers are here.
Yeah, I brought two of our better golfers, Reed Blacklock, he's a senior, and Jackson Tyler, he's a junior.
I'm glad you brought Jackson. I'm always glad to see Reed. But I'm glad you brought Jackson because when we talked that night after the day after the regionals, and you said something that caught my attention. You said Jackson's, paraphrasing, Jackson's on the same level as Reed. And it took me, when you said it took me, I had to sit back and think about it for a second because we can rattle off Reed's accomplishments, but that may take the rest of the show. Reed's a really good high school golfer and has done a lot in his 3 years with you. We'll leave it there, and then we'll talk about what lies ahead. But when you throw Jackson in that same breath with him, that's an attention getter.
Yeah, he's always had the ability to do everything that Reed has done. And like I told you, he battled a wrist injury for a couple of years, and he's certainly shown we've seen it at times to where we know that if Jackson's playing the best he can, he's everybody as good as Reed, and that's what I've tried to get across to a lot of people is that we've got a lot of guys like that. When we play as good as we can, everybody is on a very high level.
Jackson, did you hear what he just said?
I did. Yes, sir.
When you hear your coach say it, and I know you know this guy's a pretty good golfer, coach just put you in pretty lofty territory there. What's that mean to you to hear coach say that?
It means a lot just coming from, I've known Reed for 10 years now probably, and people take what Reed's done and it's amazing what he's done, but like coach said, we have multiple guys on that level. Like I know I'm at that level and I appreciate coach saying that, and it's it's been tough battling injury and stuff like that, but it's been that just means so much to hear that from coach. And
well, let's go back to the regional tournament. You guys finished as the runner-up, which another thing that Cord and I talked about. That may be as impressive as anything you guys have done until this year because of the fact that you're competing with Andrews now, and Andrews' history and tradition is up there with anybody's.
Yeah, they've always been a golf power, and they've done well. Town supports them. It's kind of a benefit of having a one school.
Yep.
Where the one course in town, everybody pushes golf, and that's a good thing to have. But I think at Liberty we've kind of got the same mentality, just in a smaller setting.
I say you finished as the runner-up, but you also finished in third because both of your teams qualified to move on, which you've coached a little bit. How many teams have you had do that where both teams?
I've never had a team get two teams out. The only one, some of the players are asking me, and I think Coach Sexton did it one time at Cooper a while back, and then most of the other teams that I've ever seen do it, I've seen Highland Park have two teams at state, and maybe a Lake Travis at times.
Very rare.
I thought that one year, right after you'd gotten to Lubbock Cooper, you had one qualifying, one that got close.
Yeah, we were close. We were close to doing it. But yeah, I think we finished at that year. I think we won and got 5th, maybe. So yeah, it was close.
So I'm going to see if Reed remembers this, because I think sophomore year, I think that at that point you guys had a second team close, and a young 16-year-old Reed Blacklock actually said something along the lines of, I want us to get to the point where both of our teams qualify for state. And just kind of nonchalantly said it, and I tucked it away and thought, I'm just a 16-year-old guy. What's that mean to you, Reed, to be part of what you guys have built these last few years?
I think it's one of the, like how we were saying how rare, like he's only seen a couple of people do that. I think that's one of the coolest things. Like a coach can do that says a lot about our golf coach for sure, and just as us as a team, how much we've grown. And yeah, I do remember saying that, and I thought that was, I thought that's a huge accomplishment, and I think it'd be a huge way coming forward in confidence. I think it's a big confidence thing too. So,
and what's cool about what you guys did is day one, it was your red team that was in second place, correct?
Yes.
And Jackson.
Yeah, y'all were beating us.
Yeah, they were about 9, I think.
Jackson actually shot 6 under that first day?
I think it was 5.
5 under?
Yes, sir.
And what did I ask you about Reed? This is, can't remember if it's Reed's dad that told me this or Joe Sexton that told me this, is that when, I'm not going to use the same word I used with you on the phone, when Reed is mad, that's when he's more dangerous. Reed, you didn't have a Reed type first day, but you sure as heck had a Reed type second day. How motivated do you get when you don't shoot the way you feel like you should have?
Yeah, so, like 72 is usually par. And, I've had a conversation with my dad many times and my coach with it. Like 72, if I go above 72, I'm like, all right, I put on this mentality where I just need to just step on the gas. And I'm working on that of just trying to, like, even when I'm under par, just keep pressing on that gas. I feel like I've done that a lot better spring season.
Because you shot 73 the first day and came back with a 68. Jackson, 67 the first day, 71, but that gives you not only 2 teams going, but you've got 2 guys in the top 5 individually. Mm-hmm. He's going to downplay this, but you've kind of hit on it. We're going to talk about, I'm going to make him blush over the break here. Coaches have something to do with that at any sport, but any level, but it takes some nudging, some working with young guys. So coming up on our first break, we get 3 segments with Liberty, so we'll come back after this and talk more Liberty golf on the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Breaking down Liberty sports. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. This is the High School Fan Zone on a Monday night. We're talking Liberty golf. Before we jump back in there, though, I've lost it. You have to come back to, there it is. I want to say congratulations to somebody these guys all know pretty well, Joe Sexton, who has been named the co-coach by the National Football Foundation Texas Tech chapter. They will be honored on Wednesday here down the road. Actually, is it the Civic Center? No, it's somewhere nearby because I went last year. And actually, the guy he's sharing that award with is IDLU coach Clay White, who coached with a little bit at
he was at Cooper when I was there. His wife was an assistant principal, and really good family, just really good people. So
remember if that's the same White I'm thinking about, that one of, I think it is his wife that actually was the softball coach before Sherry Colwell got there. So a lot of Lubbock Cooper connections. But congratulations to Joe. You won't find a better guy, first of all. And it turns out that old golf coach knows a little bit about coaching football, too.
Oh, yeah.
He downplays it and kind of plays the country bumpkin once in a while, but he knows a little bit about football. These guys know a lot about golf. Not that he doesn't know a lot about, he knows a lot about golf, too, because he's probably been a head golf coach longer than he was anything else, I would think.
Yes. I don't know. It was probably my 17th or 18th year being a golf coach. I was girls basketball for a little bit. You're
one of those guys that's moved. Are you one of the Artesia?
Yes,
folks? You're the Artesia Mafia over here in Texas. You're about to take over for the Plainview people. My wife's from Plainview. Can't swing a dead cat. I better not say I'll get in trouble with the.
Yeah. There's a lot of people from Artesia I've noticed around here.
Artesia seems like a nice town. Why is everybody trying to escape?
I think just like anything else, it's a great town to raise a family. It's a great town to raise a family. Very athletics is huge. So I think a lot of people that move over here, don't have kids and they're looking, for
Bigger.
to do something, but as far as raising a family, it's great.
Well, I know that's where the Henderson family is from, and that's some of my favorite people on earth. So let's talk about this golf team, though. I want to get everybody's names in here. So let me take my old man glasses off here. Liberty Blue, which finished second at regional. Reed Blacklock, Jay Ewing, Jackson Ballou, who's another kid who's made a splash a time or two. Mm-hmm. Cole Barr, Cy Jones, Ryan Burke, Talon McNamara, which is just a great name. I need to meet that young man. Liberty Red, which finished third, just a stroke behind. Jackson Tyler, Tyler Hodges, Cooper Monk, Cash Calloway, and Lane Lewis. So that you've got, I know not all of those guys go on. There was a couple of them that were.
Two of them were medalists,
okay.
and for whatever reason, they kind of added them in. Instead of making a third team, they added them in with that blue team. But, yeah, Ryan Burke and Talon McNamara did a good job. Ryan had a good day the second day.
So you two, people may not think of golf having these intense competitive workouts and practices, but I'm going to go back to me knowing Reed for a few years, and I'm going to guess that that's probably not the case with you. What are practices like with this group? Because that's two teams that there's not a whole lot that separates them.
I mean, this group works hard. Like Reed, for example, I mean, nobody knows it more than we do how hard it is to be good at this game. And like when you said Reed didn't have a read round, the first round of regionals, he came to my house and started working on putting because he felt like that's what was wrong. And it's a grind trying to be good at this game. And the whole group just comes together and knows what they have to do to get better every single day.
What about you, Reed? Because I think we're far enough away I can tell this little secret that 6 years ago when school stopped and the world stopped spinning, I believe you made sure that you and your guys that you golfed with were still working hard at your craft.
Oh yeah, I mean that's all we did was just play. I mean we had nothing. I mean we didn't think of anything else back then. We were young and we just golf and golf and golf. We would eat and then we'd swim and then it's like I remember you saying like when you were younger you play 9 holes and then swim and then play the back 9. I mean that was us, and I think playing, and for future golfers too, I think playing like for practice is very big. Course management I think is one of the biggest things that helps a golfer, and I think that's how me, you, and a majority of our golf team got so good quick is just, I mean, playing is so big. I think it's huge.
I mentioned these two in the top 5, but I should mention Jay Ewing was also 7th. I'm trying to look down my list here.
He's had a really good year. He's been playing well.
Very good year. He missed out as a freshman last year. He had some close calls getting on that blue team, and it's kind of like Reed said. He just played. That's all he did. He worked, and that's the great thing about golf. You don't have to have the keys to the gym or wait for coach to open up field house. You can practice anytime you want, and that's what these guys do. I mean, they live and breathe it, and it shows.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons they're headed back to the state tournaments. Let me make sure I have the dates right. It's April 27th and 28th. What's the course called in Kingsland?
Legends.
Here we go. Coming up on our second break, we'll be back and we'll talk more Liberty golf after this break on the High School Fan Zone.
Breaking down Liberty sports. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back into the High School Fan Zone. We're about to wrap it up on this Monday. We'll be back Wednesday with Lubbock High, Coronado, Friendship, and Lubbock Cooper. I haven't lined those up yet, but there's plenty to talk about with track into the area, or they've finished area around there into regionals. Baseball playoffs begin next week. Softball playoffs begin this week, and I want to repeat this. Lubbock High beat Caprock 9-1. They are in the playoffs for the first time since 2018. They join Monterey, Lubbock Cooper, Friendship, Memorial. I want to make sure I don't leave anybody out. I think that's it. Liberty girls are going to get there at some point. Need to let Hannah Limmer know I'm pulling for her.
Oh, yeah.
It hasn't happened yet, but they're going to get there eventually. So.
She will.
Golf is to the point now, and you guys have to wait a little bit. It's not too much. The girls have to wait until the following week. You guys have about a week to get ready. So, Cord, what are these guys, now, besides just grinding like they do all the time? And again, I said this to somebody earlier, Brandon Robertson, that was sitting there. He doesn't have to worry about graduation and prom and stuff along. He's got freshmen and sophomores. You have to start thinking about that. Liberty prom's in the rearview mirror.
Got that over. In fact, I sent out a text. And said, "Everybody good? Give me a thumbs up." So we made it through prom. Everybody's good. So
Everything's good.
Now you start to read. You have to think about this. You start to think about graduation. The finish line. There's a real finish line there, school-wise. Now golf, you still have work to do. But as one of the older guys, how do you kind of balance that part of being a leader, being an athlete, knowing that, okay, I've got to stay locked in here, but I also have to start. Would you tell me your whole family's going to be here for graduation, so you're going to have some distractions?
I know, yeah. But I mean, like what Coach has been saying this a lot too, and we just been understanding this as a team. Like, I think it's really important that, like, I'm leaving. I'm graduating high school. I mean, let's play some golf. I mean, just like, there's really nothing to. I mean, it's my last ride. I mean, I want to enjoy every single moment of it, and so and it's a couple of our last rides too that's on the team, and I just think, I mean, easier said than done with saying don't think about it and just. I mean, we did the hard part. I mean, we already made it to state. I mean, there's really no pressure. I mean, just go enjoy it, and go play our hearts out.
There's no pressure, but there's some motivation.
Absolutely.
2 years ago, you guys got to hold up the big trophy. Tell me what happened last year.
It was tough coming out of regionals. We started off hot and then we just didn't have the best finish. But I'm really we're stacked. I think we're like we said 10. I mean, all 10 of us can break par, and I mean, again, easier said than done, but we're solid.
And what I like about getting two teams out, we didn't limp in because this team didn't have this, or a 595 didn't make it out of regionals this year, and last year a 606 made it out of regionals. So that's what I'm most impressed with. Not only did we get 10 guys out and we got back, but we got it by shooting really good scores, both teams.
For both you guys, I said this to Coach too, the fact that Andrews is in your region, that you're going to have to butt heads with them at this time of year, how much does that push you and get you ready for who you're going to face?
I can speak on this all day. We both talk about this constantly. Like, those Andrews dudes are, I mean, they've got two players like we're sitting right here, and it's like they're so good. They're both going to play collegiate golf, and their team is stacked, and they're probably thinking the same thing about us, how bad they want to beat us. But we know how bad we want to beat them because I'm sure they feel like they're on top of the world all the time because they feel like they probably think in their heads they're better than us. But we know who's better, and I think we're just ready to finally prove that and just show them that.
Like you said, last ride.
Feel it.
I mean,
yeah, I'm sure ready for that.
If you grew up in Artesia, that's sort of down. Andrews for a long time has had, like he said, they have a reason to believe they're really good,
and they do, and they're a really good team. They start really young. They work hard, and like I said, the town, that oil field culture. I don't know, because that's something about that oil field culture loves golf, and they like to see their kids do well in golf, and especially at Andrews.
Last thing, all 10 guys, have all 10 of them been to state tournament already, or is some of it going to be new to any?
It's going to be new to some of us.
Majority.
Yeah, majority.
Well, but you have one guy that's been there a few times and knows what he's doing, so that doesn't hurt. We'll be back Wednesday to talk more high school sports on the High School Fan Zone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Randy Rosetta.